I'm sitting here trying to figure out what exactly to say. Because there's so much. There's an endless trove of shit to say about what is happening to our fucking piece of shit, miserable country. Most of it I've already said in a couple videos I've made. One of my most recent ones about the leaked draft opinion of overturning Roe vs. Wade from the Supreme Court, called "We Were Warned, It Is Happening Now," so you can check that out. But also, earlier this year, no, I think it was sometime last year, when Texas outlawed abortion at 6 weeks or something like that, setting the stage for, well, actually no, that didn't set the stage for this. Inaction did. Yeah, the video is called Texas. I'll tell a personal story in that. And it's a personal story that countless women across America are going to share, are going to experience. Because there's no exceptions for ectopic pregnancies or abortions that need to happen because of septic uteruses during pregnancy. It cannot be overstated. Women are going to die. It doesn't cease to amaze me the depraved, decrepit, sociopathic rhetoric of people who pretend to give a flying fuck about babies, but once they're born, won't do jack shit to make sure that they actually have what they need. Babies! We're so concerned about children, babies being born. But once you're born, you're on your own. It's remarkable. The hypocrisy is boundless. What I want to say is that this is not about children. This is not about babies. This is about stripping away the bodily autonomy of human beings. If they actually cared about women getting raped and being forced to birth their rape babies, or women who are at risk of miscarrying, I'm pretty sure this extremist Supreme Court would carve out exemptions, make amendments to the overturning of Roe v. Wade. But they didn't, because they don't give a fucking shit. This isn't about babies. This isn't about children. This isn't about your civil rights that have been fought for a century. This is about controlling you. This is about controlling women, controlling the decisions that they make with their own fucking bodies, and that's it. Your bodily autonomy is stripped away, and it's not going to fucking stop here. Clarence Thomas said himself, we should reconsider the cases that granted us the right to contraceptives, to gay marriage, to engage in sodomy. Because what it comes down to is religion. Don't believe me? This court just ruled that it is okay for teachers to lead their class in prayer in school. Separation of church and state? Never heard of her. A sports coach who kneeled during a game in prayer or something like that. They just ruled that that's protected by the First Amendment. And yeah, it is. But it just signals what their intentions are. They want America to be a theocratic nation governed by fundamentalist Christianity. So I don't want to hear another atheism is cringe, fucking empty platitude. Atheism didn't do anything to me. Atheism didn't do anything to the millions of fucking women who just had their rights to bodily autonomy stripped away. You either end the grasp that religion has on our government, on our society, or it will end you. That's the justification for all of this. We need to, quote, keep up the domestic supply of infants, unquote. That's eugenics shit. That's shit that you would hear from fucking Nazis. These far-right extremist fundamentalist lunatics who are unaccountable are going to see to it that against the will of women who cannot take care of their children, who cannot take care of a baby, who aren't ready, are forced to give birth, stay in poverty, because they're undermining unions as well. Wages don't increase. Labor doesn't get improved. The conditions of the workplace. Abortion isn't gone. It just became a whole lot more dangerous. Already, in the states that banned abortion immediately, countless women are at risk of dying. My fury, my rage is immeasurable. It's so fucking unnecessary. And it's all in the name of religion. The Bible permits abortion. The Bible permits abortion. Again, if the sanctity of life matters so much to these backwards, barbaric Neanderthals, then you think they'd be in favor of guaranteed paternity and maternity leave. But then again, maybe we should hit up the Senate for that. The conservatives holding that up, and Build Back Better, which are part of that plan. It's just going to get worse. And that's the goal. That's all it comes down to. These far-right extremists want to make everything as bad as possible because they literally think it's the end times. Vosh covered this brilliantly. He just go watch his video when Roe versus Wade was overturned. He hit all the points, nailed them, every single one that needed to be addressed perfectly, one by one. Even the Rational National has been doing great work as well. The Majority Report. They've said more than I can say right here in my rambling, ranting demeanor. And this comes back to voting. Yeah, you know. I hate the Democrats. Hate them with every fiber of my fucking being. Immediately upon Roe v. Wade overturning. What do the Democrats do? What does the Joe Biden campaign do? What does Pelosi do? Let's send out some emails, collect money from these fucking gullible fucking peasants, pretend that we're actually going to fucking fight for them, despite having supermajorities multiple times over the past 5 decades, despite Obama running on codifying Roe v. Wade, same as Biden, and then go on to say, codifying Roe v. Wade is not a priority at this time. They had fucking opportunities to do it, and they didn't. What fucking hope does that give your base? Oh yeah, well, none. Hope doesn't matter. Your charitability does. Your money. Still though, everyone who said, despite her flaws, and, there are countless, all these people are vindicated because none of this would have happened, at least yet, if Hillary took office in 2016. Sorry, that's just it. Remember Jimmy Dore saying, what if the moon falls into Lake Michigan? Because to him, that seemed more likely than Trump picking 3 Supreme Court justices and then them going on to overturn Roe versus Wade. Oops! So if this is fuel enough to boost Democrats' chances, I welcome it, because what needs to be understood is this. The GOP, the Republican Party, it is a fucking death cult. They operate off of the idea that they have in their heads that the world is ending. The world is ending, so who fucking cares about making it better? Since when have Republicans given a fuck about improving the lives of everyday Americans, of improving society, of making this country a better place to fucking live if you make less than 7 figures? The Democrats may be feckless. They may be complicit and complacent. But every fucking day of the week, I'd rather them be in power than the fascist death cult extremist GOP. There's no argument. There's nothing. There's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. You're telling me not to believe my lying eyes. not to trust what I see right in fucking front of me. This Supreme Court is illegitimate and unaccountable. It's rogue. And it needs to be dismantled. Unpack the court. Abolish the filibuster. Nominate some more justices. One can fucking dream, right? Yeah, we can all count on Joe Biden to actually do something. I'll leave this off with, if you're a man, I would heavily consider getting a vasectomy. They're reversible. Especially if you're a red state. You know how many people I know who were accidents, born to parents who were not ready to raise a kid? That's not even to mention how many people are in foster care, waiting to be adopted. My anger knows no bounds. And you know what? Anger is a gift. Without it, we'd be worse off. If you could, check out those other videos I mentioned. My one called Texas, and the one called We Were Warned, It's Happening Now. Even my most recent one about women and gender. Some dark days ahead for sure. I want to read something for you real quick. What it was like before Roe versus Wade. This is from someone, I guess, who worked in like a nursing home, like a retirement home, you know, and would talk to women in their 70s, 80s, 90s, who before Roe versus Wade had to resort to some unimaginable barbaric shit. Quote, I kept telling my husband 6 kids was enough. After a while, I just started throwing them in the river. Quote, I knew it was my father's, so I just left it in the hole in the outhouse. Quote, I just shoved dirt in its mouth and left it in the woods. Quote, I gave birth on my friend's couch. I don't know what she did with it. We never talked about it again. There are so many more, but I will stop here. So this should tell you, it doesn't matter what the figureheads in power, what the authorities say, these authoritarians. Abortion is never going to end. It's just going to be more dangerous, more brutal.